Have you ever wondered why, despite all your efforts, your life feels smaller than it should? You follow advice, you try to love yourself, you chase your dreams, yet something inside feels off. That off is not a coincidence. It's not laziness or bad luck. It's the silent force running your life, your unconscious. Carl Jung, the father of analytical psychology, warned that until you make the unconscious conscious, it controls your choices. The people you attract, the jobs you endure, the love you accept, and the limits you place on yourself. Most women don't realize that the patterns they replay, the relationships they settle for, the fear that holds them back, all originate from emotional scripts written long before they had a say. You think you choose, but your unconscious chooses for you. It whispers what's safe, familiar, and expected. It convinces you to tolerate crumbs of love, accept work that drains your spirit, and hide the parts of yourself that feel too messy, too intense, or too human. And while you obey, it quietly erodes your sense of worth. But here's the shocking truth. Once you see it, once you face the shadows you've avoided, once you acknowledge every hidden emotion and every suppressed desire, life starts to shift. The people who drain you stop finding space in your world. Opportunities you didn't believe you deserved begin to appear. Your choices start aligning with your authentic energy, not with unconscious conditioning. This video will take you through that journey, from the unseen chains of the unconscious, through the shadow you've hidden from, to the liberation that comes when you start living as your true self. If you stay until the end, you may realize that what you were seeking all along was not outside, but already inside you. You like to think you make choices consciously, in love, work, or life. But Carl Jung warned that most of our decisions are quietly guided by something far deeper, the unconscious. This hidden force shapes your patterns, attractions, fears, and even what feels normal in life. You may believe you are choosing, but in reality, you are often following emotional scripts written long before you had control. The unconscious is not just a storage of forgotten memories. It is a living system that never rests, never reasons, and never asks for permission. It repeats patterns that once felt familiar, even if they now bring pain. A woman may consciously want a loving partner, but repeatedly attract someone unavailable. She may chase a new opportunity, but find herself frozen by fear. And despite having stability on paper, a sense of emptiness persists. These aren't failures. They are the unconscious at work. Jung explained that emotions are the native language of this hidden mind. Early experiences, neglect, rejection, or inconsistent love create internal templates for worth and safety. Later, your unconscious recreates these feelings adulthood. You don't just attract people randomly. You attract what matches your unspoken emotional frequency. The danger of the unconscious lies in its silence. You feel life is normal even as it quietly repeats patterns of suffering. Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." When ignored, it keeps you small, keeps you settling, keeps you repeating the same mistakes. Recognizing this hidden architect is the first step toward real self-worth. Once you become aware of these patterns, you begin to see choices clearly. You start noticing when fear, habit, or old conditioning is guiding you instead of your authentic self. And only then can true transformation begin. Within every woman lies a part of herself she rarely acknowledges. It is not visible in polite conversations, social media photos, or the image she projects to the world. Carl Jung called this hidden realm the shadow. the part of ourselves we deny because society taught us it is unacceptable. It holds anger, jealousy, resentment, envy, desire, insecurity, and pain that were deemed too messy, too intense, or too human to exist. The shadow is not evil. It is a natural part of the psyche. When suppressed, it does not disappear. It gathers strength in silence, waiting for recognition. The more you deny it, the more it manifests in unexpected ways. Sudden emotional outbursts, disproportionate reactions to criticism, chronic exhaustion, or a persistent feeling that life is somehow empty. Many women live composed, rational, and independent lives, yet beneath this surface lies a reservoir of unacknowledged emotions. The shadow quietly manipulates choices, relationships, and behaviors without consent. Jung warned, "Everyone carries a shadow, and the less it is embodied in the individual's conscious life, the blacker and denser it is." To be whole, one must integrate the shadow. It is not about becoming perfect or repressing negativity. It is about facing the truth of who you are, fully and without judgment. When a woman acknowledges her shadow, she reclaims lost energy. She stops fighting herself. The suppressed parts transform into sources of power, creativity, and authenticity. Ignoring the shadow keeps you small and bound to repeated suffering. Embracing it allows liberation. True self-worth is not achieved by chasing external validation or masking your flaws. It comes from seeing the entirety of yourself, light and dark, and learning to live in balance with both. Only then does your inner energy align with the authentic life and relationships you deserve. There comes a moment in every woman's life when holding on becomes more painful than releasing. Yet letting go is rarely easy. Not because you lack strength, but because what you cling to, relationships, roles, or dreams, often forms the foundation of your identity. Carl Jung understood that shedding these layers is essential. Individuation, the process of becoming your true, undivided self. Individuation is not about becoming someone better according to societal standards. It is about releasing the false selves you adopted to survive. A career that drains you, a relationship that no longer nurtures, the roles you assumed to please others. These were once anchors. Now, they are chains. Letting go can feel like betrayal, guilt, or loss. Yet it is actually an act of self-respect and evolution. Jung emphasized that holding on does not preserve stability. It preserves stagnation. The psyche naturally seeks wholeness. If you resist releasing what no longer aligns with your essence, inner tension, confusion, and even illness can arise. Letting go requires courage. Courage to face fear, uncertainty, and the unknown. It requires honesty to admit, "This no longer serves me." When you start this process, small victories emerge. Saying no without explanation, pausing to listen to your feelings, noticing what drains you. These are subtle acts of individuation. Jung likened this journey to symbolic death. The old self must dissolve for the true self to emerge. Each time you release what is outdated, you create space for life that resonates with your authentic energy. Relationships that suffocate, or people who demand you shrink, begin to fade, making way for connections that honor your wholeness. Opportunities, creativity, and joy begin to appear naturally, because your internal frequency finally matches the life you were meant to live. Letting go is not failure. It is liberation. It is the quiet courage that allows the self to rise from the ashes of the old, ready to live fully, freely, and authentically. At some point, a woman reaches a quiet but undeniable realization. She no longer belongs to the roles, relationships, or expectations that once defined her. Carl Jung called this awakening the call of the self, the authentic essence that exists beneath masks, societal demands, conditioned behaviors. The self is not your ego, not your curated identity, and certainly not the labels others impose on you. It is your deepest core, the source of intuition, life energy, and unique personal power. Living from the self is not rebellion. It is a homecoming. It is the conscious choice to stop bartering your being for acceptance or approval. When you align with yourself, your decisions, relationships, and priorities reflect your inner truth. A woman living from her authentic self may not appear loud or impressive, but her presence is magnetic. Her energy draws people and opportunities that resonate with her essence, without force or manipulation. Jung emphasized that the self emits a frequency of wholeness, not lack. When you operate from this frequency, the outer world mirrors your inner state. This alignment also opens the door to synchronicity, meaningful coincidences that feel almost miraculous. Opportunities, encounters, and insights arrive at the perfect moment, not because you chase them, but because your energy has created space for them. Living authentically allows the self to guide life naturally, without coercion, control, or overcompensation. Yet this path is not simple. It requires shedding old identities, enduring discomfort, and confronting fears. It requires saying no to what doesn't belong and trusting the guidance of the self. Every small act of authenticity strengthens your inner authority. You stop performing, stop pleasing, and start being. Ultimately, living from the self is the most potent source of attraction and fulfillment. When you honor your deepest truth, life responds. You no longer seek validation. You simply radiate it. You don't need to chase the good. The good finds you. And in that alignment, a life that once felt small expands into a reality that mirrors your authentic, whole, and powerful self. When a woman begins living from her authentic self, something remarkable starts to happen. Life stops feeling random. Carl Jung called this phenomenon synchronicity, meaningful coincidences that cannot be explained by cause and effect, but feel perfectly timed and aligned with inner reality. It is the universe responding to the frequency you emit from your core. Synchronicity is subtle. It may be a song that plays at exactly the moment you need guidance, a stranger offering unexpected insight, or a chance encounter that shifts your path. These are not miracles in the conventional sense. They are reflections of your inner alignment, a mirror showing that your choices, intentions, and energy are resonating with life itself. This flow arises only when you release what no longer serves you. Relationships, roles, expectations, and identities that do not reflect your essence must be let go. Until then, your unconscious patterns block the current of life from reaching you. Holding on creates resistance, stagnation, and repeated disappointments. By contrast, letting go and embracing your authentic self removes friction, creating space for life to move in harmony with you. Jung emphasized that synchronicity cannot be forced or manipulated. It emerges naturally when your internal state aligns with your deepest truth. The self communicates through subtle signs, a fleeting thought, a recurring dream, a feeling of being exactly where you are meant to be. When you are awake to these signals, decisions become clearer, paths more apparent, and opportunities almost effortless. Living in this flow is the ultimate reward of self-realization. You stop chasing, striving, or over-controlling. Life responds to your authenticity. People, experiences, and opportunities begin to converge in ways that reflect your true energy. The journey is not about obtaining more, but about becoming a vessel of alignment. And when that happens, the external world naturally rearranges itself to match the power and clarity of your inner life. Knowing your authentic self is one thing. Connecting with it daily is another. Carl Jung offered practical ways to engage with your inner world and reclaim authority over your life. These practices aren't quick fixes. They are deep, intentional steps to integrate your unconscious, shadow, and self. Practice 1. Dialogue with your inner self. Jung called this active imagination. Write a conversation with the part of you struggle to release, a fear, desire, or old pattern. Speak as if it's a real person. Ask why it clings and listen. This reveals hidden motivations and opens the door to understanding yourself without judgment. Practice 2. Observe what drains you. For 1 week, note situations, people, or tasks that inexplicably exhaust you. These are signals from your inner self, pointing to attachments or patterns that no longer serve you. Modern psychology calls this noticing your emotional boundaries. Jung emphasized it as listening to the unconscious speaking through energy, not logic. Practice 3. Track recurring dreams. Dreams are fragments of the soul's map. Keep a journal of dreams, symbols, and emotions. Recurring images, water, staircases, strangers, or unreachable goals often indicate areas of unresolved shadow or guidance from your inner self. Decoding them strengthens intuition and clarity. Practice 4. Set boundaries and practice saying no. Every time you refuse what doesn't align with your essence, you reclaim energy. You stop overextending and begin to live from your center. Silence, restraint, and selective engagement are powerful ways to honor the self. Practice 5. Reflection and journaling. Daily reflection on feelings, triggers, and choices builds awareness. Write freely about your emotions and patterns. Over time, you begin to recognize unconscious influences before they control your actions. By consistently practicing these steps, you create a dialogue between conscious awareness and unconscious wisdom. Gradually, you reclaim power, integrate the shadow, and allow the self to guide your life naturally. Through awareness, honesty, and intentional action, you transform from reacting to life to co-creating it, fully, authentically, and powerfully. After facing the unconscious, embracing the shadow, letting go, and living from your authentic self, a profound transformation begins. Carl Jung described this as the attainment of wholeness, not perfection, but integration. Every layer of fear, denial, and conditioned response dissolves into awareness, leaving a woman grounded, empowered, and free. Wholeness is not loud or flashy. It is quiet strength. It is the ability to stand in your truth without seeking external approval. It is a presence that radiates calm authority and magnetism, drawing relationships, opportunities, and experiences that naturally align with your essence. The world begins to reflect the harmony you cultivate internally. Life no longer feels chaotic or imposed. It begins to flow in resonance with your authentic frequency. Freedom emerges from choice. Not the superficial freedom of doing whatever you want, but the deep liberation of no longer being controlled by past conditioning, unacknowledged emotions, or societal expectations. You no longer tolerate what drains you. You no longer seek validation outside yourself. Each decision honors your self-worth. Each boundary reinforces your autonomy, and each day becomes a conscious act of self-alignment. Jung emphasized that this journey is lifelong. There will always be layers to uncover, shadows to integrate, and lessons to learn. But the courage to face yourself repeatedly creates resilience, clarity, and true power. You begin to live not as a reaction to the world, but as a co-creator of your reality, fully attuned to your inner guidance. The reward is simple yet profound. A life where you are whole, present, and free. A life where love, joy, creativity, and opportunity are drawn to you naturally, because you are no longer fragmented. You are complete. You are awake. And in that completeness, the world whispers back, I see you. You belong. You are enough.